So I think to work out if you're targeting the right audiences, I think the first thing always to start with is just ironing out who you're wanting to be targeting. Is it just anyone, literally anyone, that will drive sales through to your website, or is it more an awareness piece, and just are you going after a new audience as well? Entering might be an older demographic, you might be is your current audience, and moving into a younger demographic, for example. So I think once everyone's on the same page with who we should be targeting, then you can start to look at then, is it working?
Yeah. So one of the things that you would think about why it's not working is, you're not getting sales, or you're not getting very many sales. You're not getting much traffic, or you're getting no traffic. Or it might be that you are getting traffic, but you're still not getting sales. So, are you targeting the right audience, or is your content not working? It might be your content, it might not be the audience. But also, if we are driving traffic to the website, but not getting any sales, it could be the website is not their ball. So there is a number of factors that you have to think about as well. It's not always just about the audience. But again, like Sarah said, you need to be thinking, like, what is your objective? Like, are you wanting to drive new traffic? If you wanted to drive new traffic, creating audiences that are aligned with interests, aligned with other interesting, like, competitors, things like that. And one of the most important things I think as well is your Facebook pixel, is like making sure that's implemented correctly. So if you've got that implemented, you can start creating custom audiences. So you've got things like website traffic, people who've been on specific pages, so you can be really specific with your target and your messaging. You can even target people who abandoned the cart as well, but not purchased. So it's really, really important. And of course, once you've got those custom audiences, you can create lookalikes as well. So Facebook will literally create audiences like similar to your customers. So that is a biggie. One of the things we always go on with our clients.
And I think another thing to always think about as well is what you think is a best practice isn't always best practice. So again, like you always say, Danielle, you have to keep testing. So we came up against it with a brand recently where the original sort of best practice for social platforms is you'd have a prospecting audience, which maybe you do a lot of brand awareness for, and it is like telling the story so people start to understand your brand.
Yeah, like just introducing the brand, getting them familiar with the brand, so using like traffic campaigns or brand awareness.
Not a really salesy approach right at the start.
Yeah, like that's best practice, but
you've tested.
Yeah, like I've been testing it, and it's just, it goes out the window sometimes. Like not all the time, but further down the funnel, like conversion campaigns, like where you're targeting people who've been on the website, people who are familiar with the brand. Like you can use those campaigns with new audiences, and it works. Not all the time, but it can work. So it's just like, do not think I have to stick to this process, because if you start thinking like that, that's when you're going to go wrong, and your results are going to probably show it as well. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, just thinking about your price point as well, sometimes you do see social ads, and because it's quite a low value product, there's not a lot of thinking time needed on it.
Yeah.
You maybe don't need always a brand story, like people are not as loyal as they used to be online. So if you've got a really great product, it's a really great price, maybe you can go straight in with showing them the product without them knowing even who you are as a brand.
Yeah, like for me it would be clothes. If it's like affordable clothes, under £50, and it's something I really, really like, I'll probably just buy it. I mean, I do check, but ultimately you would, wouldn't you? Whereas if you were going to spend £300 on like a cashmere jumper,
it's considered purchase.
Yeah.
You'd need to know more about the brand.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I think the last thing as well is thinking about if you're even advertising on the right platform for your audience. So if you've got it nailed down who you want to be targeting, are they even on the platform that you are? A lot of people, obviously, some of them are on every single platform, but a lot of people choose to either be on just TikTok or just Instagram. So I think understanding who you're trying to target and then working out if a lot of your target audience are on that platform
Yeah, I think the common thing that we see at the minute is like everyone's on Facebook. And then, yeah, and they do have younger audiences, and they're either scared of it or they don't realise they should be on like TikTok or Pinterest, and need to be taking these considerations seriously, because some of these platforms are like less competitive, so they're cheaper to run ads, cheaper CPAs, cheaper, it's just ads overall are cheaper and it's more effective. So yeah, like one of the things for us, isn't it, Pinterest at the minute, try to get some of our clients to go on Pinterest.
Because it is such a good platform
Massive,
for,
yeah.
say, those considered purchases, for example. Like, it's going to take a lot more for them to build up that trust to actually purchase with a brand they've never bought from before. But a lot of the audience on Pinterest, for example, are huge, like, planners. Like, it's the planner platform, where they will plan. I think last year, like, or during the pandemic, they were planning from like April for the Christmas ahead, because they were just looking for things to look forward to and planning so early for purchases as well.
Yeah, definitely.